Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. I'm DJ Unification, also known as Double Dragon 912, and today, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, I got another top 20 for you guys and girls. Wow, today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to do my top 20 favorite women in fighting game of all time. Wow, now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of women in fighting game out there in these fighting game streets, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, there's a whole bunch of them. I did this for my top 20. Like I said, this obviously is my opinion. You know, my opinion going to differ from your opinion. So don't get mad at my list. Leave your top 20 favorite women in fighting games down there in the comment section. I would really like to know. And although this next entry, I'm going to say 19, I really meant to say 20. I just made a mistake. So this is post-edit. You know what I'm saying, how you re-edit stuff, but you know how I do. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. Ha! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 19 has to be Taki from the also hit game Soul Calibur. Wow, now Taki is one sexy, fine ninja. Wow. She got, you know, got the boobs and got the hips and everything, but Taki is a bona fide ninja. She fights for justice and trying to end the evil Soul Calibur reign. And what more can be said about Taki, boy? She fine, she pretty, she know how to fight. You might want to be Taki's friend. But Taki, she ain't my main, but I used to play with her a lot on Soul Calibur, and she's one gorgeous woman. Gorgeous, fine, fights for justice, trying to end the terrible reign of Soul Calibur, which is gone berserk, and she's trying to end that reign with her special ninjutsu tactics. And I always been partial to ninjas, so yeah, that's why she made this list. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 19 has to be Taki from the hit game Soul Calibur.
Don't get ahead of yourself! Victory will not come easily. It must be seized. Battle around! Ring! Fight!
You're mine! Stay down! Die!
You mistake me for a fool! You mistake me for... The battle is over. Show respect for the fallen who fought so bravely.
This just shows how much better I am than you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this party rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 19 has to be Sophitia from the hit same series, Soul Calibur. Now, Sophitia is very gorgeous. She's the epitome of beauty, and she fights for justice. And sorry, fellas, you can't have Sophitia because she's already married and they got a kid or two on the way. Got 2 kids, one or two. But I see why old buddy wife her up, because she is beautiful, gorgeous, and always fighting for justice. Now, I think in the later Soul Calibur games, it's not her fighting. I think it's her cousin, Cassandra. Well, I forgot her name. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. She's still fighting the good fight against the evil Soul Calibur. Sophitia was fighting for justice, fighting to, you know, the right wrong and triumph over evil. She's trying to live that evil from the world. Good girl, good woman. I ain't gonna call her a girl, she's a grown woman. And I see why old dude, whoever her husband ever wife her up. I understand, I would wife her up too. And she know how to fight. She's a good fighter too. And when she do hit you and beat you up real bad, she say, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." She apologize for beating you up. You know, most women don't do that. A woman apologize, that's a rare breed. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 19 has to be Sophitia from the hit video game, fighting game series, Soul Calibur.
Claim victory and bask in the glory.
Victorious!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 18 has to be Maki. Wow. Now, Maki is kind of like a double-edged sword. Not only was she in a fighting game, she was in Capcom vs. SNK 2, but she was also in when she got introduction that was Final Fight 2. Wow. Now Maki is gorgeous. Very gorgeous. Gorgeous looking ninja. And she's fighting for justice and trying to save her grandfather. And I think her grandfather and her sister, I think, because that's a guy from Final Fight. That's his girlfriend and his sensei. So she's trying to save family. So you know she's honorable, and she's fighting for justice. So she goes all the way across the world just to save her family and fight for justice. That's what I call a good woman right there. Maki is a good woman. Not only is she fine, she can fight, and she's fighting for justice for a good cause. I don't see no evil or malice in her heart. And that right there, Miss Maki, I actually definitely take out on a date to get some sushi or some noodles up there with Chun-Li and see if I could take Maki out there. I definitely would ask her out and see where it goes. Like I said, you don't know it till you ask. But Maki look like she's a stand-up ninja. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 18 has to be Maki from the hit game Capcom vs. SNK 2.
That was the best fight I ever saw! Can you find the way to glory?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this party rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 17 has to be Preecha from the new game Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Wow. Now, Preecha, the reason why I like Preecha, man, she's cute little girl, and she's a nerd. I love me some nerds. I fall in love with nerds. She's cute, she's beautiful, gorgeous, knows how to fight, and she's my boy Joe's Higashi's prime student. Yeah, she learning the Higashi style of fighting, and she, like I said, she's cute. That's a winner in my book. And I played with her sometime on Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. And, you know, not much is known about Preecha just now. She just now got into the fighting game scene, and she's cute with them glasses, and she nerdy, and yeah, I'll put a ring on Miss Preecha. Joe, anyway, so she might be too young for you. It don't matter. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 17 has to be Miss Preecha from the hit game Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
I'll break you!
Thanks for the new move!
Round 2. Get ready. Fight at speed.
Crumble! Crumble! Is that all? Is that all? Crumble! Where you belong! It's like... Is that all?
Climb up on their shoulder, twist their neck, and then jump up. Ow.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the party rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 16 has to be Nakoruru from the hit game Samurai Showdown. Wow. Also was a guest character on King of the Fighters, either 14 or 15. I can't remember. She might have been on both. Wow. Now, Nakoruru is a goddess, I think, and she's fighting to take out Alamaksu, the evil overlord or evil boss character in the Samurai Showdown games, and she's fighting basically to save her world. And she's real good. She talks to the spirits, and she talks to crows and all type of animals. She fly on her. That's one strong bird. She hold the I'll get it straight in a second. A bird can fly her and float her wherever she want to go, and she just flies on the bird and she fights. And Nakoruru is gorgeous. She's cute. I think, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, I think I had an ending on one of them Samurai Showdowns where I beat it with Galford, my boy Galford. And Galford, I think Galford, fell in love with Nakoruru, but Nakoruru, she didn't want to give him no shot because she's too busy trying to save the world and all that stuff. But Nakoruru has a strong sense of justice. She's pretty, and one of the best characters on Samurai Showdown. I never did play too much with Nakoruru. I tried her on King of the Fighter games, and she's pretty cool on there. But Nakoruru makes this list because, for one, she pretty, she cute, and she has a strong sense of justice. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 16 has to be Miss Nakoruru from the hit game Samurai Showdown. Moving right along, moving right along.
That was a nail biter. Keep an eye on this matchup. Winner!
戦いが終わったら北海道に立ち寄ろうと思っているのですが、あなたもご一緒にいかがですか?
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, keep the party rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 16, not 16. Let me get this correct. I think 15 has to be Charlotte from the hit game series Samurai Showdown. Wow. Now Samurai Showdown, I first played Charlotte on Samurai Showdown, and she's a fencer. She's gorgeous, beautiful, long, pretty long blonde hair. Fights for justice. I think, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, in the anime she had a crush on might be Kenny, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. She had a crush on Hamaru, but Hamaru wouldn't give her the time of day. He too busy fighting and doing all that stuff. But yeah, I would put a ring on Charlotte, man. She fights for her country, France, and she has a strong sense of justice. And Hamaru, you crazy. I put a ring on Charlotte quickly, take her off the market. But Charlotte, she's gorgeous, strong sense of justice, fights for her country, France, and overall just a great female character to play with. She my main on the last Samurai Showdown they made. Samurai Showdown, the one, they ain't got no title. I think it's Samurai Showdown 7 or something, but they just plain old Samurai Showdown that came out on PS4 and Xbox One. Great game, you haven't played it yet. Like Miss Charlotte. That's why she makes number 15 on this list. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 15 has to be Miss Charlotte from the hit fighting game series Samurai Showdown. Moving right along, moving right along.
シャルロット。
いい夢を。なんと下品で下美で下劣な男だ。騎士として許せん。
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the party rolling, of course. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 14 has to be Miss Mai from the hit game Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear XR. Wow. Now, Mai makes this list, ladies and gentlemen, because the last Guilty Gear I really got into, I played with Mai, and Mai was pretty cool with her little anchor on the back of. She fights with an anchor, and she's crazy about Johnny. I think Johnny don't take her serious, but Mai is of age now. I think she's 18 now, but yeah, May's pretty, cute little thing. She crazy about Johnny. She fights for justice. And Johnny, you crazy. Put a ring on Miss Mai. Miss Mai, pretty little young thing. She like you. Give her the time of day. But I think Johnny too busy trying to be a player instead of, actually trying to settle down. But yeah, Mai, she's crazy about Johnny. And she's cute. And she fight for justice, her and her whole crew. They on Johnny's ship and they fighting to stop whatever the demonic being is in the Guilty Gear series. But Mai, she's cool. I like Miss Mai. That's why she makes this list. And plus, I used to maim on the last Guilty Gear game I played. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 14 has to be Miss Mai from the hit series Guilty Gear XR. That's one of the games, but it's the series. Haha.
All or nothing.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 13 has to be Miss Kitana from the hit game Mortal Kombat. Wow. Now, Kitana, ladies and gentlemen, strong sense of justice, trying to save her world from Outworld, from Shao Kahn trying to take over all the time. and she's pretty, she's gorgeous. She's 10,000 years old, but she's still gorgeous. And I think her and Liu Kang had something going on in the storyline. I'm not for sure. I get my movies tie-in mixed up with the actual storyline. But Kitana, strong sense of justice, trying to save her world from Shao Kahn. He's always trying to take over. You know, Shao Kahn, he a bad guy. He a villain. He lets you know, ain't no qualms about who he is. He is a villain. And he's always trying to take over the world. And Kitana, Liu Kang, and all the other Mortal Kombat fighters are teaming up together to try to stop Shao Kahn from taking over the worlds. He trying to take over everything, but Shao Kahn he evil. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I love me Miss Kitana's gorgeous with them fans, pretty long hair. Never did play with Kitana too much, but she gets this because she's gorgeous and strong sense of justice. Like I said, they're gonna be a common theme in my top 20. Here is strong sense of justice. Miss Kitana, you get a thumbs up in my book. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 13 has to be Miss Kitana from the hit fighting game series Mortal Kombat.
To fight. Finish him. Kitana wins.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to all my blonde females out there. Y'all are gorgeous. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 12 has to be Miss Sonya Blade from the hit game series Mortal Kombat. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Sonya been around since the beginning. She was on Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3. I don't think she was on 4. I think Sonya didn't come back until the later games after 3. But Sonya, real cool. She always had that kiss of death finishing move, which was real cool. She always had the purple and pink rings, and she always was friends with Jax. And Jax, you know, he came to Mortal Kombat to try to save his best friend Sonya. Jax, well, you should have put a ring on that, but hey, apparently she didn't see you like that. She ended up, I think she ended up going with Johnny Cage. Correct if I'm wrong down in the comments. I think she ended up going with Johnny Cage, and they had a daughter named Miss Casey Blade, I think. Casey Cage, basically. And you know, Sonya, she's fighting for justice, trying to save her world from Shao Kahn invading it all the time. But overall, Miss Sonya knows how to fight, gorgeous. She gets this list for her fineness and her strong sense of justice. It's going to be a common theme in this top 20. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 12? Yeah, has to be Miss Sonya Blade. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 11 has to be the fine and sexy ninja girl from the hit game Dead or Alive, Miss Kasumi. Wow. Now, like I told y'all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm always a big fan of ninjas. When it comes to ninjas, I'm all in, ladies and gentlemen. And Miss Kasumi, she has a strong sense of justice. I know y'all probably get tired of me saying that. I'm probably going to stop saying it after this. But she fights to, I think in Dead or Alive 2, I can't think of the one before that. I know in Dead or Alive 2, she was fighting to try to save her brother Ian. And her and Ryu Hayabusa trying to team up to take out the evil organization and save her brother Ian from whatever was going on with him, because they had him brainwashed. But Kasumi, gorgeous, the pinnacle of just prettiness, knows how to fight, ninjutsu, ninja, fighting for justice. Oh yeah. If you can, fellas, put a ring on Kasumi. I have to put a ring on Kasumi quickly. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 11, yeah, has to be Kasumi from the hit game, fighting game series, Dead or Alive. Moving right along. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to number 10. We're at the halfway point. Thank you guys and girls once again for sticking with me for so long. Here we go. Let's get into this. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 has to be Android 18 from the hit fighting games Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I mean, she's on a whole bunch of more fighting games out there. Wow. Now, Android 18 makes this list. For one, she's freaking gorgeous. Krillin, shout out to my homie Krillin. Krillin, good job, my boy. You put a ring on that one. I don't blame you, Krillin. Good job, my boy Krillin. Android 18 is fine, gorgeous. She fights for justice now. She's one of the Z fighters. She used to be the Z fighter. She used to be just her and Android 19, well not 19, 17 used to just go around wreaking havoc all over the world. But they may not give Krillin credit for this, but Krillin's heart basically helped Android 18 change from her wicked ways. Because Krillin, you know, he had a crush on her and she found him cute. Rubbed his bald head and said, hey, you're cute. And basically stopped Android 18 from finishing off Vegeta. But yeah, Android 18, gorgeous, fights for justice. She's one of the Z fighters, and of course I had to put her in this list because I'm a big Dragon Ball Z. Here we go, big Dragon Ball Z fan. So that's why she makes number 10 on this list. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 has to be Android 18 from the hit game Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Maximum power! Maximum power! Maximum power! Maximum Outstanding!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this party rolling. Coming in at number 9 is, you know, she calls herself the goddess, Miss Storm from the hit game crossovers X-Men vs. Street Fighter. What's he on Marvel Super vs. Street Fighter? But X-Men vs. Street Fighter, X-Men Children of Adam. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Storm. Wow. Now, Storm, ladies and gentlemen, gets this list because Storm is gorgeous. Shout out to, who is that? Black Panther. I think he put a ring on that one. I don't know if they're still together in the comics, but Storm is gorgeous. And of course, she's a member of the X-Men. You know, they fight to try to stop Magneto from taking over the world. You know, Magneto crazy. He got it out for, if you're a human, get out from around Magneto. He wants you dead. But she fights for the fantastic, uncanny, uncanny X-Men. And she fights to save the world. So, you know, she all about this. You know, she got a strong sense of justice out. My bad, y'all. I'm supposed to not say that no more, but she does. She fights to save the world and keep us humans alive. Because if it wasn't for Storm and the rest of the X-Men, man, Magneto been took over the world. They've been in all us humans. But shouts out to Miss Storm, the goddess. That's what she calls herself. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 9 has to be Miss Storm from the hit game X-Men Children of Adam and all the other X-Men crossovers she's in. Moving right along. Moving right along.
Round 3. Fight!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 8 has to be Asuka from the hit series Tekken. Get ready for the next battle. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Asuka is gorgeous. Little cute little sexy tomboy, ladies and gentlemen. She used to be my main on Tekken. Which one that was? Tekken 6 used to be my main. But I switched over to somebody else. I'm not going to spoil who that surprise is. But Asuka, she's fine. She's fighting, you know. Basically, she's fighting to get her dad's restaurant back open. And, you know, she cute. We'll fight for your freedom, escape from the castle. Switching up franchises there, but she will fight for what's right, and she's gorgeous. And I still do play with Asuka. I don't play with her as much as I used to on the new Tekken, but I still do play with Asuka. I like Miss Asuka. She's actually a member of the Kazama family. But they really ain't touched that storyline yet. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 8 has to be Miss Asuka from the hit game series Tekken. Get ready for the next battle. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this party rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be Miss Jun from the hit series Tekken. Wow, now Miss Jun makes this list, ladies and gentlemen. She used to be my main on Tekken 2, but I started back playing with her again. She ain't my main though on Tekken 8. And Miss Jun, she fights to try to stop her husband and her son from fighting, trying to kill each other. Kazama style fighting, knows how to fight. Great, she's gorgeous, but don't say that too loud, cause Kazuya crazy. But I understand why Kazuya put a ring on that one. I get it. Jun is fine. She's gorgeous. She is fine, and she knows how to fight, and she fights to help her family out. So she's always standing up for her family, trying to be peace. And even when she beats you on Tekken 8, she ends up healing you, cause you know she ain't about that violence. She all about peace. Jun is all about peace. Peace to the Middle East. Such out to all my Jun players out there. But yeah. That's why she makes this list, because I actually play with Jun and she's gorgeous. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be Jun from the hit series Tekken. Moving right along.
Fight.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 6 has to be Miss Nina Williams from the hit series Tekken. Wow, now Nina is not a good person. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's just an assassin. You pay her Nina enough money, she'll take whoever out. Whoever's on her hit list, she will take you out. Period. Nina is not a good person, so she's not gonna make this list off of her personality. She's not the best person. She ain't. But Nina is gorgeous. That's why she makes this list. Like I said, this is my top 20. You leave your top 20 down in the comment section. Nina makes this list because she's gorgeous. And I play with her also on Tekken Tekken 8. I've been playing with her a lot, and Nina's just gorgeous. That's why she made this list. Gorgeous blonde hair, although I wish they would have made her hair a little bit longer. But Nina is freaking gorgeous, and what more can be said? That's why she made this list, because she's pretty. Don't let that prettiness fool you, because she will take you out. If she get paid enough money, Nina will end you. But maybe I can change it. You never know. Famous last words, huh? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop being silly. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 6 has to be Miss Nina off of her looks alone. Moving right along. Moving right along.
Round 1. Fight.
Bedtime.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, number 5, almost there. Thank you once again, guys and girls, for sticking with me for so long. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 has to be Alisa from the It game, the Tekken series. Wow, now I know what you're thinking. Man, Alisa ain't evil. She always bow to people and tell them they must die. Yes, she does that because, you know, although she really attracted to Lars, you're a lucky punk. But she fight for justice. She saved Lars' life countless of times, and they fighting to try to stop the Jin faction at first, and then they try, and after that, in Tekken 8, they trying to stop the Kazuya faction from taking over the world. Basically, they fighting to try to keep the world from, you know, getting taken over by either side. First, they were trying to stop Jin. Then the second time, they're trying to stop Kazuya. But either way, they fighting and have a strong sense of justice, and I gotta give Alisa credit. If I can ever get Alisa to stop thinking about Lars for 5 minutes, and I can ask her out, I definitely would put a ring on Alisa's finger. Yeah, what you mean, Double Dragon? She's an android, yeah? That's the same kind of talking and thinking probably get you sliced up by her. Just be nice to her and tell her how beautiful she is. And you never know, she might give you a shot. You never know till you ask her. You don't know if she's gonna say yes or no. I would definitely ask her out on a date. Of course I have to do it when Lars not around, because, you know, she gets crazy around Lars. But coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 has to be Alisa from the hit anime series, not anime, they did make anime, but she wasn't on that. Hit fighting game series Tekken. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to number 4. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys and girls for sticking with me for so long. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 of my top 20 favorite top 20 favorite women in fighting games has to be Sakura. Wow, from the hit game, Street Fighter Alpha, EX Plus Alpha, all those games. Wow, now Sakura gets this number 4 spot because you notice on my last video, I ain't gonna spoil that, but she gets the number 4 spot because I had a crush on Sakura ever since she was younger. And Sakura is freaking cute, gorgeous, all the above, and she looked good in that school uniform. Looks real good. And Sakura, she's fighting to stop Shadowloo, and I said I wasn't gonna say that no more, but Sakura gets this spot because she's cute, gorgeous, adorable. I can't really say adorable. I ain't gonna say adorable. Cute and gorgeous. And Ryu, you crazy. I put a ring on Sakura so quick. Me and her been having about 3 or 4 babies by now. After I married her, of course. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me stop acting crazy. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 has to be Miss Sakura from the hit fighting game series Street Fighter Alpha 2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, down to the last 3. Thank you guys, girls, once again for sticking with me for so long. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 has to be Cammy from the hit fighting game series Street Fighter and X Reverse Street Fighter, all that other stuff. Wow, now Cammy, ladies and gentlemen, she is a bit of a dark horse because at first she is mind controlled by M. Bison, and Bison got her mind going crazy. She do whatever he says. And Bison might have did something to her, I don't know. He did brainwash her, so ain't no telling what he done did to her. But despite all that, after she get unbrainwashed in Street Fighter 5, she always fighting for justice as she helped save her fellow sisters in arms. I think the other dolls like her, she ended up saving them the whole time toward the end of the fighting game series to try to keep them from out of harm's way. So she got a good heart there. She just didn't know who she was because she was getting brainwashed by M. Bison the whole time. But I think her comrades also, although in Street Fighter 2, quick and wrong down the comments, her comrades had her, they were saving the world. It was MI6, and she was unbrainwashed in the Street Fighter 2 canon storyline, and her comrades was right there with her, and they kept her in line. Overall, Cammy, good person. Although she was on the M. Bison influence, when she got free, first thing she did was, repent and went to save her sisters in arms to try to keep them from getting brainwashed again. Overall, just a good woman. And she is freaking hot. Some long ponytails. Put a ring on Cammy quickly. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 3 has to be Cammy from the hit fighting game series Street Fighter.
Win. Round 2. Fight! You win!
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 has to be the fine and sexy Mai Shiranui. Wow, now Mai Shiranui gets this list because she is one fine woman. She fine, she gorgeous, she pretty, she fights, know how to fight, the Shiranui clan. And once again, like I said on the last video, Andy, you are crazy. I've been married a long time ago. Me and her had about 3 or 4 kids by now. I'd be up there in the picture smiling like, yes, that's my wife over there. That's what I would do. Andy, you crazy. Put a ring on that woman, get her off the market. Shout out to Maximilian. He said, well, marry this woman for God's sakes. There's no reason on this God green earth, Andy, that Mai should be single. You are crazy. She crazy about you. I know sometimes women can be obsessive, but man, I deal with it with Mai. I put a ring on Mai, and me and her had about 3 or 4 kids. And you know, Fate of Fury, City of the Wolves, it wouldn't be Mai be fighting, but my children will be up there fighting too, because we've been taught them. Anyways, Mai, fine, pretty, gorgeous, fights for a good cause. She a good girl. Put a ring on it, Andy. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 has to be Mai Shiranui from the hit games Fate of Fury and King of the Fighters.
Round 1. Ready? Go! To fight. Ready? Go! That was a nail biter! Keep an eye on this matchup! Winner!
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to my number 1. My number 1 favorite female lead protagonist in fighting games of all time is, if you know me, y'all gonna know this right off the bat, Chun-Li, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, from the hit fighting game series Street Fighter. Wow, now Chun-Li, ladies and gentlemen, she is a police officer, Interpol agent. And the whole reason for fighting and existing is to try to kill M. Bison, who killed her father. Not only that, of course, she's out for vengeance. That, you know, anybody can be out for vengeance, but she is a police officer, so she's trying to put others above herself and her duty. And I think she ended up training, was it Yun and Yang, those 2 boys, trained them to be fighters, and she thinks she run a dojo right now and trains different kids on how to be fighters and protect the the future of the world. Chun-Li, ladies and gentlemen, I had about 5 kids by her by now. I help her get her revenge. I wouldn't stop that, but we'll help her get her revenge. I take her to where and Bison at and back up any type of way I can and let her get her revenge. Because after she got her revenge, she said I can be a girl now. She started dressing in booty shorts. She wouldn't be doing that with me. Cause I've been 4 or 5 kids in Chun-Li. We've been married happily ever after, and she's gorgeous. Beautiful legs, beautiful body, beautiful face, just overall beautiful, and got a good heart, sense of justice, always putting others above herself, protect and serve, because she's an Interpol agent. Woo! Chun-Li is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I can't stress how gorgeous this woman is. When you think street fighting game female character, the first thing that always comes to my mind is Chun-Li and her beautiful thighs of hers and beautiful body overall. Yes, I will put a ring on Chun-Li's finger and I would not let her go. She like, all right, Double Dragon, I know you love me, thank you. I tell her every other day, every day, I love you, Chun-Li, I love you, Chun-Li. Put a ring on it, quicker leave. It's how gorgeous she is, and her sense of justice. Put others above herself. That should make her even beautiful, more prettier. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, number one has to be Chun-Li from the hit fighting game series Street Fighter. That about wraps up, ladies and gentlemen, for my top 20 favorite lead female fighting game protagonists of all time. Leave comments below, ladies and gentlemen, your favorite female fighting game lead female fighting game protagonists down below. I know I've missed some. Let me know what I missed down below, and if I haven't played that game, I'll go back and play it and do a reevaluation. Thank you once again, guys and girls, so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great videos like this on the way. Double Dragon 912 signing out. Peace out.